You sound awesome.
Thank you.
I have a thing, Sabrina. When we have performers come in the morning.
It's early.
This early, but if they sound studio perfect, it kind of irritates me a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did I piss you off? I'm sorry.
It was just too good.
Thank you.
I mean, you should have thrown like a sour note in there.
I should have.
Or sneezed.
I should have sneezed.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you chewing on?
Oh, it's a lozenge.
Why? What happened?
Nothing. I just love lozenges. And also it wakes my voice up, I think. I think it's also a mental thing, actually. Like, I also just love how it tastes.
Yeah.
They're like these little Chinese candy things. They're kind of...
You get a little high off those, I bet.
I don't think so. But they are kind of sus. They're a little interesting.
Well, anyway, so, here in New York, by the way, when I first moved here, I asked Scary, our producer, for a lozenge because I had a sore throat. He said, no, those are called lozengers.
Yeah, here's a lozenger.
No, they're not. It's a lozenge. There's no
Lozenger.
It's not a lozenger. It's one of those things where in New York they think it's a lozenger. And
It's a lozenger.
So I'm here. God brought me to New York to teach them. It's lozenge.
It's lozenge. It is.
It is
Yeah, there's no
Thank
R
you,
in
Scary.
it.
Go away.
But I'm glad we're teaching them now.
Yeah, I know. It's never too late to learn. So that was awesome.
Thank you.
What about that song? What about New Rules? I mean, what is it about that song that really, really grabs you?
I think it resonates. with a lot of people, but I also think like there's something about her voice that I really, really love. I love her tone. I love her like as an artist, and it's creative in a way where it's like it's kind of, I don't know, when you think about writing songs and you think about the structure of it, you only get like those few times where like it all makes sense, and like you kind of have that tagline and everything comes together and you're like, oh, it's a really, really good song. You know, it's written really well.
That was awesome.
And it's one of those songs,
version.
too, that you can just, like, sit and re-listen to over and over and over
Exactly.
again. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad
Shouts
you said
to
that.
Dua Lipa.
Because we're gonna play some. I want to play a little back for you. I want you to hear what you sounded like. Does that bother you?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I don't. Okay, you do it. You could do it. It's fine.
Sabrina Carpenter has a problem with herself.
You know what, though? It's the same with watching myself, like, in film or television. Like, I don't like to watch myself, especially not around other people.
What do you do? Do you pick yourself apart? Do you pick apart your performance?
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
Stop it.
I just find out, like, more and more, like, that I hate myself every day. I'm kidding.
Lord.
That was a joke. That
is not good.
No.
So, you know, I guess we can relate. Sometimes if we listen to, like, best ofs of our show when we're on vacation, like, for instance, I can hear us across the country on Sirius XM, whatever, and I listen to us, I'm like, oh, God, we sound like that? It's like... I don't want to. I feel creepy listening to myself. Do you feel creepy like listening to your own music? What's the feeling like?
See, I have two different feelings because on one hand, I feel like you should be your biggest fan. I do. I feel like, you know, if you love your music, then other people are bound to love it. You know, if you're passionate, well, maybe that's not the truth, but I do feel like if you're passionate about it and you put like your whole heart into it and you love listening to it, there's got to be something to it. And then there's the other hand where it's like you have to stay modest and humble and don't love yourself too much.
Right.
Don't take your own Kool-Aid.
The moment I love
Yeah,
Sabrina Carpenter was in Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were at the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and for some reason, they brought puppies in. I don't know what that was about. I think when we have these big concerts, to take the edge off, puppies. So I said, there's this beautiful, beautiful girl over here. She's hanging out with this gorgeous puppy. I want to get that puppy away from her because I want to play with that puppy. So I'm like, who is that? That's Sabrina Carpenter. I went, oh my God, that's Sabrina Carpenter. So I went over. I was very nice to you. I was very nice to you, but I got the puppy away from me.
You just wanted the puppy.
I just wanted your puppy.
That's how our friendship started. You literally just wanted the puppy. You didn't want to know me.
You'll learn later in life. Guys want you for your puppies. You know that.
It's a hard lesson.
I know.
But puppies are the best icebreaker. I mean, it's why they say
It
like
is
single
true.
guys walk a dog. Women will want to talk to you about your dog.
What if they're allergic to dogs, though? And then
You're screwed.
Yeah.
Do you have a dog at home?
Yeah, I do. Goodwin. I've told you about
We
Goodwin
talked
before.
about. I think I met Goodwin, didn't I?
I think you did.
I think I was-
Does
somewhere.
Goodwin travel around with you, or does?
Goodwin did come on tour. He's a killer tour puppy. Like, he's traveled the world at this point. But
Yeah.
we don't bring him into Canada because it's too hard to get him across the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, didn't a fan hand you a puppy once and it just crapped all over you?
No.
What happened?
That was like too recent too. I feel like this is too soon
this
to
too
talk
soon?
about this. It was literally a couple weeks ago on tour.
Well, first of all, if a fan comes up and says, I love your music, and you're like, oh my God, your puppy, and you took the puppy.
Here's the thing, there's no time to think. It's just like, here's the puppy, hold it. And I'm like, of course, I love puppies. And then 20 minutes later, I like looked down and then I was like, what is this? What is this? And then I just freaked out.
So the puppy crapped all over you?
Terrible, yeah. And
It must have been a Shih Tzu.
you know, it's so funny. That was good.
I'm sorry.
You know what's funny is they told us, they were like, yeah, this dog, he's actually, he crapped on like Gloria Estefan and like so many people. And I was just like, you need to get this dog checked out. Like, stop bringing it to people. Like, if it's gonna have a problem.
But this dog is crapping all over some of the
theme. I think they want it to become famous for that.
That's
Wow.
not the good reason to be famous.
But fans, look, fans, they're fans. They love you. They want to be close to you. They want to introduce you to their crapping puppy. They want,
Yeah.
but they do weird things.
It's all out of love.
Like
I
they
hope.
bring you candy and stuff.
They
And,
do. They do.
Like, didn't someone bring you like a pocket full of Skittles?
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing is, like, I just finished basically about a year of being on tour, and I was in Europe, and then I went to Brazil. I went to Brazil with Ariana Grande, and that was wonderful. And then I went to around 40 cities around the U.S. again, and I finished my first headline tour in the U.S. last year. And so this was kind of like our second round going out again. And sometimes you see people that you saw before, and like that's always great. But like I swear, there on this tour there was so many interesting things that happened in my meet and greets. Like
what?
It was this one day where this girl came up to me. She's like, I have something for you. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And she pulls out like 6 sticky, crumpled Skittles, like with lint still on them from her pants, like not in a wrapper.
Yeah.
Here.
And just puts them in my hand, like closes my hand for me, just so she can hold it.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, thank you. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, but it's just,
You ate
out
them,
of love.
of course.
Of course I did. Yes, popped them right in my mouth.
There's
Oh,
nothing
Like
wrong
a
with it.
lozenger.
Lozenge. Oh, there's no on lozenge. All right, so if you're just turning us on, Sabrina Carpenter is here. I want you to hear what you sounded like.
Okay.
Listen how great you sounded on our show. Listen to this. Look, you look uneasy.
Uncomfortable
You look
right
very
now?
uncomfortable listening to you, Sabrina.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm glad you enjoy it though. It makes me happy.
I'm
You
enjoying.
just don't wanna hear it.
I'm not enjoying your music as much as I'm enjoying watching you get all crazy.
Yeah, isn't
over
that
there.
more entertaining? Do most people do that though, or are most people like, yeah, what's up? I sound
no,
good.
I think most people hate it. I think most people don't.
I think it is a thing,
Don't
and
wanna hear it.
yeah. I mean, and what would you do if I was just like, damn, I sound really good right now?
I would go good.
Good.
By the way, Bruno Mars.
Actually, he can appreciate himself,
Yeah, he loves himself.
and I love that.
Let me tell you, Bruno Mars, and I say this because he's friends, we're friends. Bruno Mars loves nothing more than to talk about Bruno Mars.
Honestly, and if I were him, and if I were talking to him, I would only want to talk about him.
Yeah.
Here's well, not a story, but like I was walking down a hallway, and we were the only 2 people in that hallway.
Right.
And he walked past me, and like there's no one around, like there's no cameras, there's no nothing. He's still walking like that. He's still doing that like walk drag,
That's him.
walk drag, holding the pants. That's just him. And I was like, wow, like I admire that so much.
He's truly himself.
Truly himself.
Yeah.
What a talented guy.
Yeah.
So Sabrina Carpenter, this is, of course, Why. We're about to play that in a second. But you've got this is your 3rd album?
This
coming
is
out? Third
my
studio.
well, yeah. I'm working on my 3rd album right now.
Working on it means it's going to be out next week?
Sure. You're gonna be disappointed. It's not gonna be out next week. But I've been in the studio. As soon as I'm done, I've been kind of like in and out, and really proud of where it's going. But Why was the most recent addition to the family, and
Right.
and I'm very proud of it. I wrote it not too long ago, and it was one of those songs that was just like, it has this message, but in a way, like we didn't intend for it to have any sort of message when writing it. But it really is about the differences between everybody and how, like, it doesn't mean you can't love people just because they have certain preferences over, little things. It's the little things that like bring us together, and sometimes, we let it pull us apart, and we don't need to. So that's what I wrote Why
A
about.
very relative song
Yes.
these days.
Yes.
Let's talk about The Hate You Give.
Mm-hmm.
You joined the cast of The Hate You Give.
I did.
It's a very, very
Have you
deep-
read the book?
It's a deep story. Well,
It
I have
is.
a good friend who just read it and
Yeah.
gave it to me.
You have to read it.
I mean, without giving it away, can you sort of give us a synopsis of what the story is about?
I mean, the story is, it's very timely, and it's very relative to, like I said, the world and how the world is right now. And it's kind of this story, not a coming of age, but it's kind of like a girl finding out who she is. There's kind of these 2 sides that she has to always live until something happens. Her best friend gets shot, and there's a lot of things that happen with that, and when her having to deal with that, and both sides play to the story, so it's very, very relative. There's a great cast, great director. We just had our first table read the other day, and it's been wonderful, and I can't wait for people to see it.
Do you have to cry?
Yes.
You do?
Like, actually, yeah, I do.
Is it rough? Is it rough for you to pull tears
No.
in front of a camera and a crew?
Because I'm usually not allowed to just like cry like right now. So I just wait
Okay.
for when I'm on set and
Go
then
ahead.
I'll just well.
On your mark, it's that
Are
cry.
you serious? You want me to? I
You-
could get
can you-
really sad right now. I'm not going to do it.
I mean,
but
I don't want to know what it is. Do you go, Sabrina? Do you go to like a very dark personal place in order to get tears to come out, or you can just push a button in your head and?
No, the word dark is interesting. I think you just find something that like I usually think about all the things that are wrong in my life at one time, and then it gets me really stressed out, and so then I can just start crying.
Wow,
Is that terrible?
No, it's not. No, it's not
Pack it
terrible.
in.
Crying is a
use it as,
fantastic
right?
thing.
We all have stress in our lives, right? So
Yeah.
you might as well use it for something like constructive and helpful.
Exactly. You might as well use it.
I was just handed a note. What? What?
No.
Bethany's Common is in it. What?
Oh, Common
is in
the hit
it.
you give.
Oh,
Yeah.
Common's in it.
Yes.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. I just met him the other day. He's so nice.
Yeah.
He's so nice. Common's in it. We have obviously Amandla is the star of the movie, and then we have Regina Hall, and we have Issa Rae, and it's a great cast. Like it's a lot of great people.
God, it sounds like you have such. I mean, you're living your life, Sabrina. So to you, it's just another day at the office. But for us, watching you, all this stuff you have going on, it must just be amazing. Do you ever wake up in the morning going, "Gosh, this is really a great life"?
I wish I could do that more often. I think for some reason when it is so busy, you kind of have a hard time sitting down and being like, whoa, it's actually like, it's moving and it's going really well. And I think for me, I'm lucky because I always kind of keep myself moving. I always love to keep like, challenging myself and finding out what's next and finding out what I can do and, show myself new things that I never knew I could do before.
But, if you keep moving, are you sort of afraid to stop?
Absolutely. All the time.
It's like, so, I mean, not to get too, deep here, but, I mean, are you afraid there's like
We already got deep. We talked about crying already, so we're already there.
We talked about dogs crapping on you and stuff. I mean, is there like some demon that's going to catch up with you? I mean, what catches up to you if you decided to take 2 weeks off and not work? What is going to catch up with you? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen?
In the big picture, I'd probably get a little bit of sleep and probably and probably it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Right.
But then in my mind, I'm always thinking of like, but then I it's 2 weeks where I don't have, it's like where my creativity isn't being put to use. And I constantly feel like, especially at this age right now, I'm 18, I feel like I have so much that I have to learn and that I have to see and that I have to like create because of that. And I don't know what happens after 18, so I guess we find out. But yeah, I think right now I'm using it to my full advantage, using my metabolism. Like I said this morning, they were like, I don't know if the coffee's going to be here yet. And I'm like, it's okay. I taught myself how to have energy without it.
Oh my gosh, we hate you. I'm high on metabolism. The first time I met her in Vegas, I'm like, gosh, she's great. I want to take her out for cocktails. I mean, I think at the time you were 17.
Yeah.
So I said, she's 17. I'm like, stop
In
it.
London, we can go.
Okay, good. You've already scoped it out.
But we can get Shirley Temples. It'll be great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Elvis,
Perfect.
have you ever had a Shirley Temple?
Have you?
Yeah, with 2 shots of vodka in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it still counts, I think.
Oh, no. But you are, in my opinion, from what I know of you, Sabrina, you are beyond your years. You really are. Is that a compliment?
Absolutely.
All right. And I get it. Taking time off, that means I'm not watering my creative garden. I got that.
Wow, I didn't know that was the quote that I just created.
But that's what you're doing.
I'm not watering my creative garden.
Well, that's what you're doing. You're one of those people.
I'm going to make that my bio, watering my creative garden.
You just seem like one of those people is if you're not working, you're just not in your favorite place.
And I think that's a good sign that I still like it, right? We should always be in that place.
Wait till you're old and washed up like me.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's not funny. It's kind of sad. So Why is out now, of course. The Hate You Give, we're not quite sure when that's coming out.
Filming it right now.
So, yeah. And the album, she's doing it. We don't know when that's coming out.
Working on it, guys.
She's working hard every day on stuff, but we don't know when any of it's coming out.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. Soon is their favorite word.
Yep.
Oh, please. But you did sound so amazing live.
You.
I've got to play Why. Let's see what she sounds like in a real studio, unlike this cardboard box we have here. We love it when you visit. Sabrina Carpenter.
Love you guys.